Back at the workshop again, and more on the MX5. I bought some paint, so I've painted the now modified fake slam panel black like the rest of it, so it's all tidy enough. I'll put the head on in a bit. I've just relocated the passenger front wheel brake line up much higher and further back than it is as standard. I reckon that's going to mean it'll clear when getting the head on and off, but I'm going to check, and as long as it does, it can stay like that. If it don't, I'll just change it a bit more. These brake lines are so flexible, you can modify them to do anything. So right, that's the head back on, head bolts, well, head studs all torqued back up, and cam belt on. This finally, and this has been way trickier than I imagined, is going to be the final turbo position. Basically that allows for an easy link pipe from the exhaust manifold to the turbine inlet. It allows plenty of room for a downpipe. It allows plenty of room for the boost pipe to the intercooler inlet. It allows plug clearance, and it allows room for an air filter, which will likely be off at 90 and facing down. Wastegate position probably at the front and low, maybe at the back, but until we at least get a mock-up link pipe made so I can remove the wood and flanges and crap that I'm using at the moment to mock it up, we can't be sure. So not going to bank on exactly where the gate's going yet, but turbo there. Oh, and most importantly, and that's what made it a bit tricky, that clears the bonnet just like close, but that is as close to the bonnet height wise as I can get, and obviously that makes higher the better, you know, to suit the link pipe and give me maximum room for a downpipe. But yeah, sorted. Now just got to wait for the pipe to arrive to make the link pipe, and then Thomas to help me mock it up and TIG it up. Something's got a serious pop and bang map. Another thing done is oil cooler. That is a genuine unused oil cooler off an RAF Tornado, military surplus, and it turns out it fits absolutely perfectly in that place, and it cost me £30, and it is a bloody work of art and totally brand new and unused. And one of the best things about it, it's got an oil drain, which means I don't change the oil and then leave a litre of oil in the oil cooler, which is what happens with 99.9% of cars' oil coolers when you do an oil change. So very pleased that I've got hold of that. So yeah, that's another thing. Obviously again, it's just mocked up with a cable tie. Need to make some brackets, just basic brackets off here will be absolutely fine, top and bottom. I might do that later, but yeah, at least I can do that because that can be migged up brackets. I don't have to do any TIG welding for that, because that's what I've not learned how to do yet, but I seriously need to ASAP, because, you know, as much as Thomas helps me and is happy to help me, A, he's busy, B, he's busy, and C, I like to be self-sufficient. I don't like asking people for help. I kind of wish I was a scabby fucker that asked everybody for help like most people are, because I'm always helping people and I never get any help back because I don't like asking for it. But yeah, it would be nice to be self-sufficient, and the only thing I can't do is TIG weld. I've no experience of it, you know, so I should learn, because then I can knock up other things. I can MIG weld all right, you know, not very pretty, but it's strong. But you know, I want to TIG so I can do aluminium modifications. After that last bit of footage, you might have been able to tell by my tone of voice, but I was massively lacking motivation. I was honestly about to fuck off home. Just because kind of running out of things to do. But just before I just gave up and started packing up, I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm going to bite the bullet and get on with it. And because of that, it's about 11 o'clock at night, so many hours later, about 4 hours later, and the welder's dragged out. I've got a massive great fucking vice here because I've been doing stuff. I've been making the mounts for the oil cooler, and now it's no longer held in with cable ties. It is rigidly in place with 3 brackets. Shed a bit of light on the situation. Way more work than I imagined. Basically, it's mounted 1 at the bottom, 2 at the top. 1 at the bottom I did at the end, and it took me literally seconds. Super easy. One of the RX7 brackets with the end cut off, and then the one bit welded to the chassis. The top are 2 chopped up bits of bracket, just 90 degrees, but fucking hell, it's a pain in the ass. It looks like it would take seconds, but no. This bit's done. Now I should do, well, now the welder's out and I'm doing shit, I should do more. Not sure what though. I honestly don't know. Maybe see if I can work out how, maybe some brackets for the, I was going to say some brackets for the radiator, but I've already done them. Fucking hell. Okay, maybe oil catch tank. Yeah, oil catch tank. Because I'm going to reuse the one I used on the Volvo, because that was a really good setup. So, yeah, let's see what I can do with the oil catch tank. Well, oil breather tank's in its correct place. Unfortunately, what's holding me back is what's holding me back with most things at the moment. I can't TIG weld, so I can't do aluminium. This is the right place. I can't really go anywhere much different, because there's the return from the bottom back to the crankcase, which I wanted to keep. I don't like things just being a catch tank that means it fills with oil and that oil's gone. Whereas if you've got to return back to the engine, it's not wasted. That's a proper system. Just a catch tank with no return, you know, it's better than nothing, but I don't really agree with it. So I like to have a return, and this has got a return and it works well. The old Volvo basically didn't use any oil, and it was going to be partly down to this. I mean, the thing was an old piece of shit, and it was running all the boost, but it didn't burn oil. And the reason, or you know, it didn't use oil. I wouldn't just say burn oil, because normally on these cars it would push it into the catch tank, and it certainly did, because that's oily. But on this type of catch tank, it returns it. Otherwise it would just be filling the catch tank, you would empty it, that's it, it's gone, you'd have to top it up again. But yeah, this setup works good. Right, it's gone midnight now, so I think this is my last job of the day complete, and that is the swirl pot is now mounted. Basically the only real place for it was there, you know, backwards and forwards a bit, but there. Unfortunately, right underneath where it's sitting is the rear chassis rail, so while it's got mounting tabs, unless you use bolts long enough to go all the way through the fucking chassis rail, you can't use those mounting tabs. So what I've done basically, and it's very simple, was welded on a tab either side of the chassis rail. So now, yeah, I could bolt it straight to there. Super easy. Just 2 quite thick flat pieces of metal. That's stainless steel on the floor actually, which I've had for years. I just cut bits off when I need it. And yeah, welded them either side of the chassis rail. Then there's a nut and a bolt either side. Solid. So yeah, ideal. But I think as modifications go, that'll do for tonight, because it's gone midnight. It's, you know, it's getting ridiculous now. Before I go though, I'll show you a few other things that's going on in the workshop. This very old MZ bike, which is modified for bike rallies, as you can tell, like off-road rallies. As you can tell by the sump guard and the light protector and all kinds of stuff. Guy came in. Thomas wouldn't normally do jobs like this, but Thomas likes this kind of bikes, and he liked the guy, so he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. He basically just repaired the exhaust, just like the weird original exhaust, which is a very strange setup. But Thomas redid the front bit, which had rusted through. Not easy, because it needs a slip joint on the front, and that piece, that original piece there, screws into the actual engine, so you had to machine like a slip joint there. But yeah, pretty sexy for a crazy old bike. It's a cool bike though. You see it's been very modified over the years with thing, and it's got, like, see the rubber chain guard? That's clever, because it's literally meant for off-road action. So it's got a rubber guard over the chain. East German, I think this make is. Yeah, MZ. Who once upon a time had quite a lot of motorsport success, as you can maybe read on the tank. In other news, the truck is mega. It's rolling. Literally, it is genuinely a roller now. Look. So yeah, front and rear suspension and everything's on. The body's just placed on for now, but it looks mental. Rear suspension is nearly finished, not completely. Got to do the spring platforms. He's gonna do some more modifications to the rear axle to beef it up and a few more things, but the general shape of it's there. I think manifolds, exhaust manifolds are going to be next. It's got engine plates, front and rear, motion race works, arms on the side, because the motor plates might stop it rocking side to side, but it can't stop it moving forward and back. So you need some kind of mount, and Motion Raceworks in America make these badass adjustable ones that you can just fit. So Thomas bought them, and yeah, looking pretty awesome. It's funny, being a LSX engine, turns out there's that many little differences between those and a normal LS. Almost nothing is fitted. It's like, rather than normal push-in core plugs, it's got screw-in ones, so they stick out further, which means loads of stuff is needed modifying to fit where normally, you know, it would clear a core plug, and all kinds of like crazy little bits and pieces that needed more work. But that's cars for you, and that's what you get for using what's basically a race engine, a race block anyway. So yeah, and Thomas can modify all that, no problem, but it just adds more work that you don't expect. But overall, badass. So yeah, that's me done for tonight. I am pretty knackered, to be fair. It's about 12:30 and I still got a fair bit of tidying up to do. But yeah, hope you like this video of, wow, no action, just lots of progress. And make sure you like and subscribe and comment. And I mean, I always read all the comments anyway, so it's always good to have a nosy what people say. So do all that, and see you next time.